Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today I'm going to find out exactly what's gone wrong with the YEWW Patrol. If you guys missed the episode where I sort of explained what was going on, I think it has broken the flex plate. I've got a bit of a plan with Aussie 4J adapters in a way that we can change this up, and I don't think anyone's ever done it before, so it's going to be a bit of a world's first. But in order to get to that point, got to remove the gearbox, got to check out what's going on, see what we can salvage. I don't even know if the transmission in this thing is damaged or hurt, so I need to check that out. But yeah, got to get it out, got to see what's going on. That way I can start selling this stuff, start getting all the new parts, get everything back together so we can get this thing back on the road. Because it has literally just been sitting out the front waiting for me to come up with a plan, but I think I've got a plan, but in order to get to that plan, we've got to do some work.
Proudly supported by Superior Engineering, iTech World, and in part by...
First things first, pop the bonnet. Now real quick, don't forget about our new tees available on the website now. This is the I Built My Own Rig shirt. It's kind of my favorite at the moment, but check them out. Link is in the description below. This thing has kind of been butchered because I was trying to fix it as much as I possibly could, but turns out we have a bit more damage going on than I originally thought. You can see I've got some stuff removed. The starter motor is removed down there as well. I was also trying to track down wiring issues because I thought it was just an injector knock originally. But if you didn't see the video, this thing had a super loud knock.
Definitely flex plate. Just stalled on me. Now.
But now when you turn the key, all you can hear is the converter spinning inside the transmission. So nothing is hooked up in terms of the transmission to the motor. But this thing is a bit of a dog's breakfast at the moment. So we are going to be tidying the whole car up. I've got some big plans for the car, but obviously we need to get it running first. Now, just a quick refresher, this box is an RE4 transmission, which is the standard ZD30 Patrol 4-speed. It is a really good box. I had it fully rebuilt by Wholesale Automatics. It has a huge converter from them as well, and a stage 3 valve body. So we spent some coin making this thing mint. I'll talk about the plan later on, but I think it is going to be a really good way out of this situation, and we can keep the 4J in this. We don't have to change a tune or anything like that. So it's going to be simple. Just need to get this thing out, assess what's going on. It is going to be a mission. Jesse and I had trouble with two of us putting this in, so I'm assuming that it's going to suck getting it back out. So underneath the car, I'm going to have to remove this rear drive shaft from the transfer case. Then I'll probably drop the transfer case, which is all these bolts here. Cross member is going to have to come off in order to drop the transmission down. Up front, we've got the front drive shaft. That's going to have to come off. And then obviously our exhaust runs underneath the transmission on this, so it will have to come off as well. This thing has also started leaking oil from the converter seal because obviously that converter was not aligned with the adapter plate. So once we get in there, we'll know if there's any transmission damage or anything like that. Hopefully not, so we can sell this box because it's only got like 3,000 or 4,000 Ks on it. So I've definitely got a lot of stuff to remove, and it's going to be a little bit awkward to film. So bear with me, guys. I'm going to start getting into this and getting it out. If you don't have them already, get a big long set of spanners like this. Freaking awesome for undoing all these really tight bolts. Right, that's both drive shafts, so now I'm going to disconnect everything from the transfer case. So with this transfer case lever, in order to get it off, you do need to knock this pin out. So using this nut as a bit of a thread saver, you back it back, smash that pin out, otherwise you'll never get it off. That is the pin out. Now in order to get to some of the top bolts, I'm going to take this off. Under here, I've got all my CompuShift wiring and whatnot, so all that's going to have to slide out the way. Then I need to take this plate off so we can get to the top of the gearbox. Redoing everything. It is annoying redoing everything that we neatly done up in there. Right, that's the shifter out. So plop that to the side. Now I've got to get this plate out. So now that that's out, you can see I can get right down in there, get the transfer case bolts out. All the wiring is pretty much disconnected now. CompuShift is staying. I don't know how much of the wiring is staying or if we have to swap the loom out, but it's definitely staying. So not going to disconnect any of that, but now I can get to the transfer case bolts and drop the transfer case out. Right, the transfer case is now ready to come out. I'm going to grab the jack and then undo the last bolt, and fingers crossed I don't drop it. I think we're pretty much on the jack now. Let's see. It's got to fall. Safe. Wasn't exactly how I wanted to get it down, but landed on the piece of timber, so all good. So now I've got to disconnect the exhaust. I've just gone ahead and taken off the V-band on this. This is a two-piece sort of dump pipe here. And then I've just got to get that piece that goes underneath the transmission out. I've gone ahead, removed all of the bell housing bolts, so that is done. You can see exhaust is here. Had to remove the cooler pipes, the dipstick tube, all that is gone. I'm pretty much ready to drop this cross member down, this one here. And I've got the jack and the block under there, and then I can drop the transmission down. Now, disclaimer, this is very dangerous while you're by yourself at home. These transmissions are very, very heavy. I've got a strap under there, so if it does fall, it's going to fall onto the strap. Another thing I don't have to do is remove the torque converter bolts. Well, at least I don't think I do, because they should be broken off. The whole flex plate should be coming with the transmission. The thing I'm really going to have to watch out for though, if I can't see that converter moving back, I'm going to have to remove the flex plate from it, just in case it's jammed up or something. But I'm pretty confident it's a clean snap and it's all just going to come straight out. So wish me luck, guys. I'm going in. So you can see I've separated the gearbox that much, but the converter is still all the way forward. Now it's definitely broken the flex plate because I can move it quite easily, but it must be jammed because I can't seem to pry it back. The reason I'm trying to avoid taking the bolts out is it's really hard to get up into here to get to those bolts, and because that is free spinning, it's going to be really hard to undo them and hold the converter in the same spot. Right, this is not going well at all. Let me show you what's going on. I've got a transmission on the absolute piss that is kind of half fallen. I've got a converter that's stuck on the motor. It is not going well. You can see that thing is on a huge, huge angle. So I need to keep pulling this out. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. I tried for ages to undo the converter bolt so I could push the converter back. It wasn't happening, so I decided to just remove it with the converter in there, which is definitely not the way to do it, but
It's the way that this is happening right now. Lucky I had that strap there. So the jack just fell out from underneath it, and it just goes to show you why you take extra steps, because I've got this piece of steel right across with the strap running around the transmission so it can't fall, and that just grabbed that transmission and stopped it from falling, so saved it. It is free of the converter now though, so I'm just gonna start lowering it and dragging it out, and yes, that was really fun. One freaking transmission. It doesn't look to be damaged. I kind of had a look in there with the torch. You can really tell when the pump is damaged because it all breaks inside. It's quite brittle. But yeah, no damage on the shaft or anything. A little bit crappy pulling a transmission out with the converter on the engine. But yeah, that's the next thing I have to get off, is that converter. You can see it up there. Can you? You can see that converter sitting up there. So now I need to get that off. What a mission that was. But glad that is finally out. There's a huge mess under there because I've leaked oil everywhere. But nonetheless, it's out. Right, so I'm currently sitting in my gearbox tunnel. That is the inside of the car there. So bear with me, the filming might be a little bit bad. But as you can see, this is our converter that is still bolted to the flex plate and stuck on the motor. Now the shaft looks perfect, which I'm very happy about. This is the part that potentially I was going to damage, or the part that this goes into in the gearbox, because you need to remove the gearbox the whole way out for it to drop off. The main problem I was having was the top bell housing was hitting the firewall here, so I really had to tilt it down, but nothing is damaged, thank God. But now this is pretty much just sitting up there loose. You can see it's broken. Now this is obviously broken in a very weird way because I can't get that flex plate off. I've tried for about 45 minutes now. So I've just gone ahead, I've started taking the bolts out. I couldn't stop the converter from spinning, but right now I've just put some bolts in it, and I'm just using a pry bar and kind of just jamming it in there. So I've got 3 bolts out, I've got 1 bolt left in there. Now the problem is when I take that bolt out, this converter is going to drop. So I'm going to go inside and see if Alicia can help me. That is definitely broken, and that would have actually never come off the way that has broken. It's broken backwards. 1 broken freaking flex plate. Worst part is these bolts have been machined down because they wouldn't fit. I had problems fitting this actually up, but you can see it's taken out the corner of these bolts as well. So whether I'm going to get those off or not is going to be interesting, because there's only a couple of mil of bolt at best. Could always weld a nut onto that and probably take it off doing it that way. Yeah, how good's that? I'm using a special socket that's been machined down on here, and I've got the front chocked up with my long breaker bar, which is why I'm using this breaker bar, which is actually a torque wrench, which is not designed for what I'm doing. Great success. Very nice. There's always one, isn't there? You bastard. Oh, I think I just got it. I don't know how that worked just then, but now we're free. That is the adapter plate. That is the problem. So the reason that wasn't coming off is because that is kind of jammed in there. You can see it's not pushing out at all, but yeah, clean snap on the flex plate. This is what all these kits are doing, is braking like this. This is not the only one. This is probably one of 20. And I believe it's because this adapter plate isn't doweled correctly. Because see these dowels? That's what aligns the gearbox to the engine. But if the dowel isn't right, it's not going to put this into alignment, and it causes excess wear and pressure on things that you don't want pressure on. Really good news is the converter is perfect. The gearbox seems to be perfect as well. Maybe just replace that front seal and she'll be good to go, so I can get those sold, which is going to fund what we need to do to get the GU back on the road.
So yeah, broken flex plate is the issue. Now we are going to get away from this broken stuff, and we are going to start putting some stuff that actually works in the GU, and I'm really excited. It is going to be awesome. I'm not going to fill you guys in just yet. I'm going to leave it a bit of a surprise, but I'm really excited about it. It's going to shift sick. It's going to be mint. So that is going to be it for today's episode. 1 like equals 1 prayer for the GU. Get the likes on the video. It's not only just the gearbox stuff as well. We are doing some other mods to this thing. It is not finished yet. Honestly, can't wait to show you guys, but make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the content. I'm going to start sourcing all the stuff that I need to get this thing back on the road. And yeah, friggin' keen. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.